Hello, thank you so much for joining another Ready to Ride Pilates horse rider session. We are going to be looking at your coordination, your ability to multitask in this session. Such a key skill to have when you're in the saddle, I think you will probably agree. Make sure you're warmed up before you do this one because it will get going quite quickly just because of the nature of the content. So let's just check everything is balanced before you start with equal weight through your feet, soft knees, headlights forwards and shoulders relaxed back and down. Then starting with your head, we're going to turn your head from side to side, keeping your eyes level as you turn, so watching that you don't dip down through your shoulder or through your neck. You want to be absolutely level. It's a better quality movement through your neck, but it also keeps the weight of your head much more balanced. And don't forget, our horses are very, very sensitive to that sort of thing. Okay, face the front, and we're going to move on to your mermaid. Soften through your knees, reach up with one hand for a good big breath in, and breathe out. Take your arm down and round, and back up for another big breath in. Breathe out, down and round, really loosen off through the whole of your body. One more time, breath in, and breathe out. Bring that arm down by your side, and we'll swap to the other arm. So soft knees, reach up for the breath in, and breathe out. And again, breath in, breathe out, and we'll do one more this way, and breathe out. Okay, bring your arms back down, and we're going to go straight into your walking. So we're going to do diagonal pairs of arms and legs. I hope my hands aren't disappearing off the top of the screen. Apologies if they are, they're not the most important bit of this exercise. Start to think about your body as a whole, so regular breathing. Those imaginary ropes or springs connecting your ribs to pelvis, just keeping those ribs down so that you're not moving through your whole body. This is all about shoulders and hips. And keep your pelvic floor onto floor 3. And now we're going to take it into the wide position. So feet out wide. Hope I don't go splat. We've had a bit of rain and the grass is a bit wet. And now you're in the wide position. It's really important that body stays still so you don't start to get this kind of movement. Obviously in the saddle we don't do lots of this sort of movement with your arms, but the whole concept is that you want your arms and legs to do whatever they need to do without your body having to get involved. It should be still and connecting in the middle, not flopping around going all over the place. So keep those ribs down and keep your breathing really regular. Okie doke. Let's bring your arms down before you lose your circulation to the end of your mat. Feet together, knees nice and soft, hands on the front of your thighs and chin onto your chest. And you're curling down through your spine, curling up as tight as you can, all the way down to the bottom. Nice breath in at the bottom. Breathe out, slide your hands back up, tuck down with your pelvis, and uncurl to the top of your neck. The next time you go down, I'd like you to feel that you're moving every single vertebrae, one at a time, through your neck, between your shoulders, middle of your back, low back, pelvis moving last of all. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, down onto your mat, and we're going to be starting off on your front, doing the swimming exercise. And we're going to start with your arms. I'd like you at home to be doing this facing your mat. I'm going to face you so you can hear me a little bit better. So it's arms out in front. Hopefully you haven't got nice wet grass like I have. Tummy away from the puddle of water. Float one hand, reach away in front of you and rest down. Then float the other hand, reach away and rest down. Always keeping that tummy away from the puddle of water. Feeling that you've got that nice stretch down your side as you reach. It's a little lift and a big reach. One more. Then give your arms a rest and we're going to move on to your legs. Again, tummy away from the puddle, float one leg and reach away behind. Once again, it's a little lift and a big reach. You're trying to feel that you're stretching down through your side. And you want to feel that the front of your headlight area is sliding along. If you do a big lift, you'll end up pressing that headlight area into the mat and you won't get so much of a slide. Now we're going to combine arms and legs, so it's those diagonal pairs again, opposite arms and legs, reaching away in opposite directions, still with the tummy away from the puddle of water, still with that little feeling of your headlights sliding on the mat, but it just won't be so much because you're going in the opposite direction. So it's pelvic floor, don't forget to breathe as well, Little lift and a big stretch with those diagonal pairs. One more with each pair. Okay, then we're going to go onto your side. And we're going to start with an exercise called the side bend. And you need to be in your capital L position, so straight line from shoulders, hips to knees, knees bent to 90 degrees, top arm onto your top side, pelvic floor onto floor 3, and then you are lifting your pelvis as you take your top arm over your head and bringing both back down together. So it's pelvic floor into that lift and both back down together. You're looking for synchronization of movement and control, particularly on the way back down. If you want to make it a bit harder, lift the top leg, and you're just making it a wee bit harder from the control point. Make sure that you stay relaxed though through your body, so want the flow through the movement, not be rigid, particularly on the landing. Keep the pelvic floor onto floor 3 and keep your breathing regular as well. If you want to make it a little bit harder from the technical point of things, you can add in straightening that top leg at the same time. So now you've got arm, leg and pelvis all doing something slightly different, all at the same time. Still want that control, particularly on the way back down. Keep it flowing, keep it fluid. Don't forget about your pelvic floor. And remember, most importantly of all, to breathe. Nothing's going to flow or be relaxed if you're holding your breath. And do one more now. Lovely. Then we're going to go onto your back, and we're going to start off with your hip twist. You can choose, oh nice leaf stuck to my foot. You can choose which version you do. We're going to go with your arms. So, your start-up position, think of that nice connection from ribs to pelvis, so that this bit of you isn't moving. You're going to, if you're going from the floor, you're going to be taking one knee out, like so. If you're going from tabletop, you're taking one leg out, like so. So if you are in tabletop, it's the whole leg, not just the knee. Whichever version you are doing, you are then doing opposite arm and leg. So it's the same pattern whether you are feet down or in tabletop. Try to keep the leg and hand that aren't moving absolutely still. So we're looking for this, kind of the ultimate wine glass exercise. Don't forget to breathe. Keep your pelvic floor onto floor 3. Try to keep relaxed through your hands. Keep those hands and knees that aren't moving absolutely still. Do one more with each pair. Last one. Okay, bring your hands down and feet down as well, one at a time. Okay, we're going to move on to doing your scissors. Same thing, we're going to do arms and legs together, but it's slightly different depending on which version you do. So if you're going from the floor, remember your scissors is bringing each leg up to tabletop in turn, moving from your hips, knees are at 90. With this one, we're moving opposite arm and leg, but they're going in the same direction. If you're going from tabletop, you will find that your arm and leg are going in the opposite direction. The key with particularly this version, the tabletop version, is those imaginary ropes and springs from ribs to pelvis, keeping you connected through the middle. You're once again trying to keep the leg and hand that aren't moving absolutely still. I'm better on one diagonal than the other. It's probably the same for most of us, so my right hand struggles to stay still when my left hand is on the go. Keep breathing, keep your pelvic floor onto floor 3. Last one. Good job. Okay, bring your legs down if they were up, give yourselves a little bit of a breather. We're now going to combine the legs for the scissors and the hip twist. So arms can have a rest, hands onto your headlights, pelvic floor onto floor 3, ribs to pelvis. If you're going from the floor, you're going one leg up for scissors, one leg out for hip twist, like so. If you're going from tabletop, you've got one leg coming down for scissors and the other one out for hip twist. And the key for both of these really is that connection from ribs to pelvis, so that your body is staying really still. You've got a nice stable platform through your tummy, through your pelvis, for your legs to move. Think of it like your seat. Your seat needs to be stable so that your legs can move to apply the aids. Keep breathing. And keep your pelvic floor onto floor 3. Don't forget the quality of your scissors. Make sure that you are moving from your hip, not your knee. One more each way. And one at a time, keep back down. And give yourselves a little bit of breather because that's quite a tough exercise. We're going to spin round onto your other side and do your side bend the other way. So once again, you need to be in your capital L position. Top arm onto your top side, pelvic floor onto floor 3. And we're starting off synchronizing just your pelvis and your top arm. I say just, it's actually quite a lot when you're thinking about the quality of the movement as well, and the pelvic floor and the breathing. That's why I talk quite so much, because there's so many things to remember. Okay, let's see if we can make it a bit harder lifting that top leg. So it's not any technically harder, but physically it's certainly a little bit harder. Then if you want to make it technically harder as well, we'll add in straightening the top leg at the same time. So we've now got 3 body parts all doing something different, but you're still looking for that control, particularly on the landing, that fluid movement, and the pelvic floor and the breathing. Well done. We'll do one more. Fabulous. Well done. Okay, I'd like you to come up into sitting, sort of, and we're going to do the side twist, which is one of those exercises which everyone recoils in horror when they see that I'm going to do it, but it is so much, once your brain has got it, it's fine, and it really is about your brain being in charge with this one. So you need to have your bottom leg bent on the floor, top leg bent, knee pointing upwards, and your top foot in front of your bottom foot. Bottom hand out to the side, plenty of space for you to go onto. Top hand onto your top knee, and you're going to push up and back down again. So my feet aren't quite far enough away. Got this lovely wet grass. So you can see there, if your feet and hands aren't far enough away, like my first one, then you can't get that push. So again, we're looking at that synchronization of push and top arm, but you need to be confident. Okay, which I wasn't on my first one because I didn't trust my feet. Lovely, do 2 more. Last one. Super job. Okay, I'm going to spin round, do the same thing the other way. Try and get my feet, trust this wet grass, which I don't quite. Okay, so same setup. Bottom leg is flat, knee pointing to the front. Top leg is bent, knee pointing up. Top hand onto your top knee. Bottom hand far enough away. Hopefully I'm spread out well enough. Pelvic floor onto floor 3 and into that push, and slowly back down. So again, we're looking for that control, but you're looking for that brain just understanding what it's being asked to do when it's trying to do several different things all in one go, and keep the control. And you want this to be a smooth and elegant movement, not landing in a heap. Last one. Good job. Okay, onto your hands and knees. And we're going to move on to your swimming. In this position, we're going to go straight in with your arms and legs, so I think you're probably all okay for that. So hands under shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And we're going with those diagonal pairs of arms and legs. Keeping your back as flat as you can. Keeping your breathing regular. If you can, have your pelvic floor onto floor 3 as well, that would be brilliant. But don't worry if you can't. The most important thing is that you breathe whilst going for that nice quality of movement. Remember to watch that you don't lift too high, because then you'll just be dipping through your back. We want a stable spine, stable body, while your arms and legs are on the go. Once more with each pair. Okie doke, bring your hands towards your knees, and we're going to come up into standing just to finish off. And we're going to do the star lunges, which thinking about my one nice wet grass might be a little bit risky, but hopefully you're in a better situation at home. We're going to do the star lunges because I think it's just a really great one for thinking about control as well as precision. So hands out to the side, so then you cannot use your hands for feedback. I want you to focus instead on what you feel through your headlights to make sure your headlights stay to the front. Okay, so headlights are to the front and you're going forwards, diagonal, side, diagonal back, and back onto the bent knee under a tree. Then into the reverse, so back, diagonal, side, diagonal forwards, and forwards. Okie doke, same with the other leg, so keep those hands out, headlights to the front, forward, diagonal, side, diagonal back, back onto the bent knee, back onto the bent knee, keep those headlights to the front, diagonal, side, diagonal forward, forwards. Super job. Bring your arms down before you lose all your circulation. Little walk on the spot to loosen off through your shoulders because you've been working jolly hard. And we're going to finish off with your side plie with a stretch. So knees out wide, soften through your knees, arms to the side, and you're going over. Nice big stretch, so stretch down this top side, open out and face the front. Then to the same side again, so over, good big stretch. Push those fingers and toes apart to the front, and we're going to do one more to that side, to the front, and then we're going to the other side, so good big stretch, open out that whole side and face the front, and again to that same side, good big stretch, push your fingers and toes apart and to the front, and we'll do one more to that side to finish, and then bring your arms back down by your seat by your side, and have your feet back underneath you. Seat, at least side and feet combined make seat, which is at least relevant to riding. So we are going to finish there. Well done everybody. Hopefully your brains haven't been too frazzled. I know that some of those intense ones in the middle can get you a little bit flummoxed, but if you did find them challenging, come back and try them again in a few days, and hopefully your brain will have had time to process them and find them a little bit easier to do. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It's absolutely wonderful when I get new subscribers. It makes me very excited. And take care, and I'll see you again very soon.